Hello friends, this is Raj Sastry from Raj Option Trading. Today is August 30, 2021. We will talk about mid, large and mega cap stock update. With that, let's get started here. We will look at a few trading ideas, most active, best and worst performing stocks, and look at few good stocks to buy. With that, let's jump in here. From a mid-cap stock perspective, we got here a list of most active stocks. As you can see here, we have insider transactions, institution transaction that tells you what insiders and institutions are doing. For example, if there is a high insider transactions, for example, rig here, Transocean, that's a good sign here. And if you have a high institution transaction, for example, your Marathon Digital, institutions are buying, that's a good sign. And same story with the Riot Blockchain, Tilray, and Tiger or Up fintech Chinese-based investment company, and then you got FCell and Nordstrom. These are the good candidates. You should look at those where there is insider trading, which is positive, and institution trading, which is positive. And then you got your sales. Very important to have a sales, good sales number, and a good sales growth. I always look at rule of 40 many times. Whenever you have quarterly sales growth plus gross margin greater than 40, that's a good sign here. As an example, here we got here Zynga and even CNK and so on and so forth. They got quarter over quarter sales growth plus gross margin greater than 40. That's a buy sign. That's a good indication. Then you got net margin. Some companies have got negative net margin, which could be okay because they want to invest in their own business. But some have got positive net margin, tells you companies are making money. For example, United Steel here, and COG, Cabot, and even AUY. And then you got debt to equity ratio. A higher debt to equity ratio, above say 1.1, is a little bit you got to watch out. Companies taking too much debt on their balance sheet. For example, here Cinemark taking high debt here. I would watch very carefully. It's again becoming a meme stock of late to some extent, but high debt to equity ratio indicates too much leverage, financial leverage on the balance sheet, which is not great. Then you got RSI. RSI indicates a entry position. When the RSI is below 50 or 55, that's a good time. Tells the stock is sold off. As indicated by SAVA here, Cassava stock got dropped big time, as you can see here. That's why RSI is 34. Stock is completely sold out at this time. And as you scan through here, I also listed here both RSI and IV percentile. If you're an option trader, pay attention to IV percentile or implied volatility percentile. A high implied volatility percentile like 62 here, you could still make money by selling put options or even strangles or straddles as an example, because IV percentile is high. But be careful, if you're not comfortable, you could go with either iron condor, iron fly, or even butterfly as an example. And then we got your institutional ownership, higher the better. Here we got good institutional ownership. For example, here OPCH, CNK got good backing from big institutions and money managers. Short float, as you can see here, a higher short ratio here can indicate a short squeeze might happen on any good news. So you could look at these candidates with the high short ratio carefully and buy when you have a sign of stock trending up. And then you got here 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, all the way to 1 year, 5 year. That tells you how is the past performance here. You got to stick with the companies that are showing some proven performance in the past. And I also have last column here, indicates how much the stock is off from 52-week high. As an example here, SAVA and Wish, they're down big from 52-week high. So with that, as you look through here, you could look at few stocks here and go from there. These are most active stock list. Pay attention to IV percentile, sorry, RSI here. I would stick with the companies like SAVA here, 34. As you hear, stock is getting sold off. Even Wish here, which is a big meme stock of late. You could buy some of Wish here, trying to turn around in 1 day and 1 week. Probably it's a good one with the high short ratio here. Where is the short ratio? 7%, not too high, but you could still buy some Wish at these levels. And as you scan through here, many of these are high RSI. You could pass them, but if you see here, Zynga low RSI, stock is trying to go up in the shorter term. Out by some Zynga here with the low RSI. As you scan through, Tal is other good one. I think you got to be careful with the Chinese companies. These might bounce off. These Chinese online education companies, because China made a mandate of not charging for K through 12. They don't know how to make money. So I'm sure they will evolve. But be careful if you're buying Tal. Maybe it's a trading idea. You might have some bump in the shorter term. Stock might bounce. As you scan through here, we got 51 here for Southern. You could buy some Southern also, but it's already has gone up a little bit. Probably should wait. Here we got two more here, IQ and Tilray. I think you could buy this also here. They do have, Tilray has got positive sales growth, so is IQ. IQ is a Chinese company here. I think right now it's trying to bounce off in near term. You could buy IQ and Tilray. And as you scan through here, RSI levels, Tiger Uptech, it's a 36 RS, it's 43 RSI, sorry, 36 RSI, still low RSI. Institutions are buying big time. I think you could go with some Tiger or Uptech, FinTech here. And then we got here 37 and 46, last two, FCell and JW Nostrum. I would go with them too. As a thumb rule, look at RSI, below 50 or so, and look at what insiders and institutions are doing. See if there's a bounce in shorter term, 1 day, 1 week, 2 week. So with that, we would go with some of those names here and take it from there. If you're an option trader, give a special importance to IV percentile here. Don't buy options when the IV percentile is higher, but sell options in this scenario. Even if you're a stock trader, if you're a stock trader, give importance to low IV percentile stocks, preferably below 50 or so, and also RSI below 50 or 55. So with that, let's look at monthly winners here. We don't chase the monthly winners, but let's look at some monthly winners. Gene editing stocks are making a comeback here. Editas is doing nicely here, up 67% in 1 month. I think it's doing well. As we look through here, all these stocks have done very nicely in 1 month time frame. But if you were to scan through some, look for RSI here. RSI is pretty much high across the board here. But if you were to pick something, probably look at stocks like 3D Systems here, DDD, 53 RSI. Trying to bounce back in the near term. That could be a good one. And as you scan through here, almost everything is high RSI. So you got to be a little bit careful. And look for signs here, insiders buying Editas, which is a good sign. That's why stock is going up. You could still participate and buy a little bit if you want. It's still okay, I would think. And as you scan through here, we got institutions buying Marathon Digital, Skin here, and some of these companies. So you could look at these companies and buy them in a pullback. Even Genie here, institutions are buying big time here. So you could buy some Genie also at these levels. RSI 65, a little high for me, but you could still buy a little bit. So with that, let's jump into monthly mid-cap losers. Typically losers turn into winners. That's why I like to look at the loser list pretty carefully. And same story here, look for insiders buying or institutions buying. As an example, we got here a couple of these companies like TUYA, Room, YSG Skillz, and so on and so forth. Typically look for insiders and institutions buying more than 10% preferable, and go from there. So many of these stocks here, I think you should look at these names here with the high institution and high insider buying. They typically tend to go up here. And coupled with the RSI, look at the RSI here, Cassava here, SAVA. I would buy some SAVA at these levels. RSI is 34, stock has room to run. And as you scan through here, same story, TUYA, HAPS, all these have got low RSI. None of them have got RSI below 50. So with that, you could, if you're a fundamentally inclined investor, look for companies with a solid 1 year quarter-over-quarter growth plus gross margin. Rule of 40, quarter-over-quarter growth plus gross margin greater than 40. So you could look at names like Room, MPLN, and so on and so forth. If they got good insiders transaction and good institution buying, those are your winning candidates. So with that, as you look through here, we got some of these meme stocks like SPCE, Virgin Galactic. As you scan through here, low RSI here, you could buy some Virgin Galactic also here. And also, if you're an option trader, look for IV percentile. IV percentile above 50, for example, SAVA and Skillz, and Smile Direct. You could look at selling some option in those scenarios. But when IV percentile is low, like Room and even Nikola, you could look at buying call options. So look here, we got Skillz. It's been down for a long time. Now insiders are buying. That tells you Skillz can turn around. It's already turning around slowly. I think it's got more room to run, and high short ratio can create a short squeeze. And as you scan through high short ratio candidates here, we got Nikola, same story. Inside institutions are buying, can create a short squeeze. And as you scan through more, we got TGTX. Again, it can create short squeeze. TGTX, I think there is no institution insider buying, but still it can create a short squeeze. And as you scan through here, we got a couple more here, IQ, and Spice, which is Virgin Galactic, and last but not least, Huya. They can create some short squeeze. Now let's look at large cap most active stocks. Same methodology like we talked about. These are large cap stocks. Typically, large cap stocks give you a little more stability here, but these stocks move a big deal. So these are most active stocks. We got AMC at the top. Here also look for insiders buying. For example, here AMC and PLTR, which is a great stock, and PBR, Petrobras, and so on and so forth. Institutions buying, and look for RSI. For example, here RSI 55 is okay, not too bad, in the borderline. But if you look at Ford here, Ford is a good buy here, 48. And as you scan through here, we got AT&T, Peloton. Peloton could be a good one here. Peloton, after the earnings, stock dropped big time. I think it's good to buy some Peloton at these levels. As you scan through here, a BAV could be okay to buy here. HPQ, again, good to buy at these levels. And NIO is, anytime NIO is 40, you could buy some NIO. It's a great Chinese Tesla. And we got here gap turn around slowly, and so on and so forth. Look for RSI and look for insiders and institutional transactions. Wherever you see green here, those are the ones you could choose. Also pay attention to short ratio, like AMC, still high short ratio even after this huge big run here. I would probably wait for AMC to cool off a little bit because stock already went up. As you scan through the short ratio here, we got one more, American Airlines. I think this has got more room to run. You could buy some American Airlines slowly and take it from there. And we got here one more, CLF, Cleveland Cliffs. You could buy some Cleveland Cliffs at these levels. As you can see, a stock slowly started to move up, and it's got 10% short ratio here. And now let's look at monthly winners. Same methodology, look for insiders buying. For example, Doximity is one of my favorite stocks. It's into healthcare. It's a LinkedIn for physicians. As you see here, it's a down 14%. I would take advantage, buy some Doximity at these levels. I also love Sentinel here. It's a cyber security play. This can be a very good stock as you go forward. And look at DLO here. Looks like institutions are buying big time. You could buy some stock along with the institutions. Only thing is RSI is a little higher for me here. As you scan through, we got BNTX, DraftKings, Unity Software, even Open Door, and PLTR. All these have got insiders buying. At the same time, look for RSI levels. If the RSI is below 55, it's great. If it is above 55, buy a little bit, not too much. So with that, let's look at short ratio quickly here. As you scan through here, we got 14 for DKS. DKS is almost a 52-week high. We should probably pass here. And as you scan through, we got Norwax down 32% from 52-week high. And as you scan through Norwax here, I think this could be a good one. You could buy slowly into Norwax and take it from there. And scan through here, I don't see any high short ratio. Let's look at next one here, monthly losers. I think you got to pay close attention to monthly losers. They can become winners pretty quickly. It's sorted by monthly losing percentage here. Stock on top here. Pinterest has lost most in 1 month. I love Pinterest at these levels. RSI 41. Institutions buying it. Institutions are getting ahead of the game here and buying some Pinterest. Get ready for next quarterly earnings and any blowout quarter. They can make good money here. Then as you scan through here, we got all of these things. We don't have any institutions or insider buying, but still okay. We should look at RSI levels here. RSI pretty much across the board, it's below 50. Look for strong candidates. All of these have got good quarter over quarter sales growth for most part. Nice gross margin. Look for rule of 40 and pick some of those things up. So as you scan through here, none of these have got high short ratio with the exception of Bilibili here. This Bilibili can cause a short squeeze here. You could buy some Bilibili at these levels and take it from there. Next, we look at mega cap most active stocks. As you scan through here, look at the RSI levels as usual, and we got Alibaba, and we got a couple more here. We got Coca-Cola and Tencent, and as you scan through, we got one more here: Walmart, Johnson and Johnson, and Visa. You could look at these candidates here and buy. You can also look at what insiders and institutions are doing. Mostly, they're doing nothing much, selling in some extent here. Also look for look for IV percentile if you're an options person. Here, for example, Alibaba, you could make some money selling some put options or strangles or straddles, but be careful. You could be better off having some defined risk strategies, because Alibaba has been coming down of late. I see some progress in weekly chart here, so Alibaba might go up as you go forward. Nothing much from a short ratio perspective. These are big stocks. Typically, these hedge funds will look for smaller market cap stocks for shorting, but sometimes they do short higher market cap stocks. So look for stocks which are trying to go up in the shorter term. For example, as you scan through here, Coca-Cola, it's down here but trying to go up in a daily chart. Could be okay to buy at these levels here. Next, let's look at monthly winners here. As you scan through here, RSI levels, watch out. And as you scan through here, for example, here Walmart RSI is 50, still has more room to run. You could pick that up from this list here and look for even Intel is okay here. Nike still works here, and probably Eli Lilly with RSI 53, and Pfizer still RSI is 53. You could pick some Pfizer too here. And now we look at mega cap weekly losers as we scan through here. Look at how much they lost here. 14% from Alibaba, 9% from Mastercard, Amazon.com still dropped. And as you scan through here, RSI levels, many of these stocks which have dropped with a low RSI here, solid sales growth in many cases. I would pick up some of these stocks here. As an example, all of these works for me. Alibaba, Mastercard, Amazon.com, all are down from 52-week high. And they got good sales growth as you can see here. I would pick up some of these names at the top with the red here and go from there. So how do I buy stocks here? So I would look for stocks that are oversold with RSI less than 50 or 55 and recovering the shorter term time frame, say 1 week or 2 week. Always buy and sell in stages, so that way you don't put too much money at risk at one time. Look for stocks consolidating for a while and showing some signs of bullishness. For the stocks nearing 52-week high, look for a pullback before buying. Stocks nearing 52-week low, look for a sign of price increase before buying. Stocks with a huge drop and showing some signs of bullishness, you could buy them because there is a sign of turnaround. Whenever there's a high short ratio, that can be a good catalyst, especially when the stock is sold off pretty hard. You could buy some at that levels. Look for insiders or institutions buying the stock. That's a good indication that these big players are bullish on the stock. Look for fundamentally good companies, positive sales growth and gross margin, and typically rule of 40, quarterly sales growth plus gross margin greater than 40. Whenever there's a secular growth biotech stock or a software stock as an example, and if it's down in a bad news big time, maybe it's FDA approval, maybe clinical trial or a downgrade, you could be a contrarian and buy some at those levels and watch, and if it goes further down, buy a little more and then accumulate slowly and take it from there. So with that, thank you very much. Happy investing and trading. Please subscribe.